Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Mary Amondo, in charge of training and career advisory services here at Corporate Staffing. And today I'm joined by a special guest. I know you're seeing this face for the first time. And she's joining me in a discussion of whether it is okay to include personal interests in a CV. Her name is Elizabeth. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you too, Mary, for having me.
Great. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels nice. Thank you. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Elizabeth is one of our CV writing experts, and I'm glad you're joining me in this discussion. We are looking at whether it is okay to include personal interests in a CV. So let us begin by responding to what really do we mean by personal interests, and is it okay to include them in the CV?
Okay, Mary, thank you for that question. So personal interests, these are activities that we normally do on a regular basis. And including personal interests on your CV, it's not it's not a must, it's optional. However, it is important, or maybe you can include them because they give the employer a glimpse of your personality, your character traits, and also some of your other extracurricular activities.
Great. So I like the fact that you've made it be optional. A candidate has the option of choosing whether to include them or not. Now, in a situation where I have chosen to include them, the personal interests in my CV, what are some of the strategies, or how can a candidate strategically introduce or rather include the personal interest in the CV to enhance their candidature?
Okay. Yes, Mary. So it is important for a candidate to note that before they include personal interests in their CV, they have to consider some factors. One is their relevance. How is it, how are the personal interests relevant to the job they are applying for or the industry they are interested in? The second thing that they are supposed to consider is space and priority. When I talk about space, is you have to evaluate if the CV has enough space. If you do not have enough space in your CV, then it's important to prioritize the information or the sections that are going to add value to your CV. You can focus on your key achievements or your qualifications. Then the third factor to consider is professionalism. Are these personal interests that you're including in your CV displaying your professional image? So those are the three factors that a candidate should consider before they include their personal interests on their CVs.
Because it will be able to enhance
Exactly.
the CV for them to be seen as a more better fit
Exactly.
for the role. Interesting. I know this is something that most professionals struggle with, and some are even not very sure whether it is okay to include the personal interest in the CV or just to leave it aside. What final advice would you have for that candidate who is not sure whether to have them or not in the CV?
Okay, so for the candidate who is not sure if they are supposed to include the personal interest or not, I can say that first of all, consider the factors that I've just mentioned, that is the relevance, the space, and also the professionalism. And then if you're not sure, then this is where now you can also look for an CV expert who can be able to help you out on choosing the right personal interest that will be able to align with the job that you are targeting and also maybe the industry that you are targeting. Also the professional that you are in, the CV expert will be able to advise you on, for instance, if you are in hospitality, what are some of the personal interests that you're supposed to include as a hospitality professional. If it's an accountant, what are the personal interests that you're supposed to include? Yeah.
And I think that is where most candidates struggle with getting to know which personal interests aligns with my area of expertise or industry.
Yeah.
Interesting. I look forward to seeing you more often in our upcoming videos.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for creating time today.
Thank you, Mary.
Indeed, whether to include personal interests in your CV or not, as Elizabeth has highlighted, is something that is a bit optional, especially if you are someone who is not so much experienced. Personal interests, including them in your CV, will enhance your candidature and make you to be seen as a more better fit for the role that you are applying for. And that is why we encourage you to share with us your current up-to-date CV just as it is, and the team will reach out to you to take you through the review, to advise whether the personal interests that you have included in your CV are selling you out for that opportunity that you are targeting. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.